everyone, and welcome to this episode of The Guido Goes Off. As always, thank you folks for watching. A big thank you to the new subscribers. Over 100! Still getting used to that. And if you are new to the channel, please hit that subscribe button and join the few but faithful. Well, ladies and gentlemen, this is going to be my review of NXT TakeOver War Games 2. Ladies and gentlemen, wow. Really, all I can say is wow. It was great from start to finish, to be honest. So we're just going to get right into it. Of course, we only had 4 matches announced, but they did decide to throw us a little curveball right at the beginning. As during the pre-show, I guess, the King of Bros, Matt Riddle, showed up and was talking, and then Cassius Ohno interrupted him in that, and then, well, to start the show, Matt Riddle went to the ring and said that he didn't want to wait till this Wednesday for his match against Cassius Ohno. So Cassius Ohno came out, they rang the bell, and before you could say Final Flash, Matt Riddle hit the Final Flash. 1, 2, 3. Your winner, Matt Riddle. Like I said, right out of the gate, boom. I mean, like I said, it was quick. I'd say it was only a 3-second match. Moving on, going to the next match, and that was the 2 out of 3 falls contest for the NXT Women's Championship between Kairi Sane, I'm sorry, easy for me to say, and the champion, Shayna Baszler. Of course, it started out, Shayna doing everything, trying to get the Kirikou clutch. Lots of, a little bit of action beforehand, and then before you know it, Jessamine Duke and Marina Shafir, I'm going to mess that name up probably quite a bit, came out. They assaulted Sane, threw her back in the, while the ref was checking on Baszler. Baszler locks the Kirikou clutch. Sane taps out. Shayna goes up 1 fall to none. Then it's Shayna real quick trying to constantly relock in that Kirikou clutch to just go ahead and win this one in quick fashion. And it goes to the outside. Duke and Shafir are checking on Baszler. Sane dives on everybody. Then rolls Baszler back in the ring, hits a couple of insane elbows, gets the cover. We're tied at 1 fall apiece. Then it becomes, just a mad dash to get that 3rd fall. Of course, Sane hitting about 3 interceptors. That doesn't do the job. Trying to get that insane elbow again, and that's when Duke and Shafir attack again. And then, to even the odds, Dakota Kai comes out, starts kicking the heck out of them. Then Shafir and Duke team up on her against her 2-on-1. Then Io Shirai runs out, hits the moonsault on everybody, wiping everybody out. Kairi tries the insane elbow like 1 more time. She does hit it, but then gets like a crucifix style roll up by Baszler. The cover of the count, your winner, winning 2 falls to 1, and still your NXT Women's Champion, Shayna Baszler. Moving on then to the next match. A very hard-hitting affair between Aleister Black and Johnny Gargano. Of course, as everybody knows, Stan Lee passed away, so you can see you got the my Stan Lee pops up here. Of course, kind of a heavy influence on a lot of people. Marvel influence on Gargano. A lot of his recent gear has been Marvel related. Captain America, Venom, and this time around he came out as like Punisher inspired gear. It also marks the 11th TakeOver match for Johnny Gargano, actually setting a record. It's kind of interesting, as his gear said Johnny TakeOver. But like I said, this was his 11th TakeOver match. So, that's setting a record, and it's a pretty awesome record to have. And right out of the gate, these guys just start literally kicking the hell out of each other. I mean, it is kick after kick after kick. This was a very hard striking. This was a very hard striking affair. But I mean, it was basically what we would expect from these two guys. You know, Gargano trying to lock on the Gargano escape. Black, you know, just keep trying to get, and you know, lots of kicks to the head and body. And then, you know, just kind of, you could just, the crowd wanted to root for Johnny, but then they're like, okay, he's supposed to be a heel in this, right? So, you know, and Johnny really healing it up. Then at one point, he was going to go for that kick, you know, doing this like they did in DIY. Alistair then just sits Indian style waiting for it. Well, Gargano goes for it. Black catches it. The two, and then, you know, in some sort of like, and then switching to a Gargano escape, and then Gargano got out of that, trying again for the Gargano escape. And then another lot of shots to the head. Then like this spinning knee strike by Black pretty much sent Gargano onto Dream Street, and he's basically just telling him to set up for the Black Mass, and so he's like holding on to Alistair's foot as he's lifting him up by the chin. He then goes for the Black Mass. Gargano counters into a pinning predicament. Then another few shots, and then finally Black gets him up on his own. Then saying, "I absolve you from your sins," and hitting him with the Black Mass. 1, 2, 3, your winner, Alistair Black. The third, in the fourth match of the card, another big time match. This one with Tommaso Ciampa taking on the Velveteen Dream, defending the NXT Championship. Wow. All I can say is wow. Again, another great match. It spent a lot of time on the outside and the inside. Dream, of course, going quite a few times for that rolling Death Valley driver, which he uses to set up the Purple Rainmaker. He keeps trying to go for it, but then really the tone changed when he started going after Ciampa's knee. Put the figure 4 on the ring post, then bringing it in for a figure 4 leg lock. The two, of course, rolling it back and forth, you know, reversing the pressure on each other. Then, you know, Ciampa starts unlacing his boot, and that, to relieve the pressure. And we had, again, more back and forth action as, you know, Ciampa really started laying into Dream in this case. You know, you know, even hitting Project Ciampa, not getting the fall. Sorry. Then he tried. Then Dream was going for the figure 4 again. The boot having been loosened up, he ends up pulling the boot off, and then Ciampa hits a couple more moves, and he's of course trying to get the pin again. It's still not working. So then Ciampa goes to the outside, starts pulling the mats up. Ends up throwing something at Mauro Ranallo for some reason. I'm like, okay. Dream then he gets to the outside. I think he jumps off somewhere, and the two fall over the announce table. Then Dream hit that rolling Death Valley driver on the outside, bringing him back in, trying to go for the Purple Rainmaker. Ciampa rolls out of the ring. That's when Dream went for it on the outside, lands elbow first, pool's empty. Ciampa brings him back in, hits that draping DDT onto that diamond plate partition, which is between the two rings, so there's no gap. But then, and then that's pretty much all she wrote. 1, 2, 3, your winner, still NXT champion Tommaso Ciampa. Of course, they're still talking about the possibility of Dream getting moved over to the main roster. Again, I hope this really isn't the last we see of Dream on NXT. I think there's still a lot more work to be done. So then we go to our main event. We go to War Games. Of course, it's the team of the Undisputed Era. All of them. Adam Cole, baby. Bobby Fish, Kyle O'Reilly, and Roderick Strong going up against the team of the UK champion Pete Dunne, the North American champion Ricochet, and the War Raiders. Okay, the match starts off with Cole versus Ricochet. Of course, these two go for 5 minutes. Then, of course, as we know, Undisputed Era had the advantage due to O'Reilly's win over Hanson on the last NXT. And then it is, of course, and it is O'Reilly that comes out next, given the 2-on-1 advantage to work him over a bit. Then there's like a lot of fighting on the other team as to who will go out. Like they're all trying to go out the door, and then Hanson makes his way out, and he's running, and he gets to the ring. Big surprise as it's the largest man, but then again, Hanson's just ability and cardio is amazing, for his size. So then you have so that works out for he's working over O'Reilly and Cole, giving Ricochet a chance to rest up. Then Roderick Strong comes in for the Undisputed Era. Once again, the 3-on-2 advantage. Then some more infighting, and Rowe comes out for the other side. It's because I can't keep saying Dunne, Ricochet, War Raiders all the time. So I'm just saying the other team. Just makes it easy. Again, then the two of them, then Rowe and Hanson, using some more tag team moveset. Then the really interesting part is when Bobby Fish comes out. He comes out, then he ends up grabbing this chain and lock that he had separate. He works over Dunne a bit, then locks the shark cage with that, and tosses a key away. Then he runs down the ring and starts throwing steel chairs into the cage before he comes in, and then it's just it's just Undisputed Era wearing out Dunne and Ricochet and the War Raiders with those steel chairs. Of course, the steel chairs had the Undisputed Era logo, so that, branding. You then get to the point where Dunne's supposed to come in. They unlock that first lock that they've been having, but they can't unlock the second lock. So after about a couple minutes of them wearing out wearing out everyone else, they finally get some bolt cutters. Dunne comes in the ring. Dunne comes out, and it's like O'Reilly and Fish are taunting him. He grabs a kendo stick out from under the ring, starts whacking them with it. Cole comes over, he whacks him with it. Then he starts bringing in all the toys. Another kendo stick, some trash cans, a couple of tables brought into play, and then and finally he gets in. And then, as they say, War Games can truly begin. I'm sorry, I'm so used to still being called a match beyond. It's War Games until everybody's in, then it's the match beyond. And so yeah, it's pretty much for a while. It's Dunne fighting everybody. He's having a good go of it until then the numbers game catches up. Then it's like O'Reilly and them working over Dunne, while the rest of his team is over in the other ring, and I want to say it's Fish and Strong are fending him off with steel chairs to keep him away from Dunne, but then Ricochet flies over everybody, and then it starts once again a little crazy. Let's see. Sorry. All right, both the tables get set up. Hanson puts Cole on the table. He rolls off because the table falls apart and get it back up. I think Ricochet's trying. I think it was Ricochet trying to get O'Reilly onto the table, and then O'Reilly hits tries to get the triangle in. Then Hanson jumps over from one ring to the other through the table, through O'Reilly. You then have, of course, some more back and forth. Everybody starts hitting their finishers and that. Then everybody's just exhausted, and then they go to like their separate rings, and then they're all standing up at once, like on opposite sides of these rings. Crowd getting really into it. Then they meet in the middle on that diamond plate partition, and then they all start fighting again. Then you have Cole climbing up to the top of the cage. Now, one thing they added is if you leave the cage, it's considered retreat, and you lose the match for your team. Well, then Ricochet comes up, and then the two of them are going at it. Then O'Reilly's trying to help out, trying to push Ricochet out of the cage. Then Dunn comes and starts attacking Cole. Then builds up into this huge Tower of Doom spot with like everybody but Ricochet. Then everybody falls down. Then everybody gets, as they're getting back up, Ricochet perches. Ends up doing an inverted doing a reverse 720 onto everybody. This pretty much wipes everybody out. It then comes down to Cole and Dunn. Cole keeps trying to hit that last shot. I think he does hit it, and then tries to pin Dunn. Dunn kicks out. He lowers the knee pad, tries to go for it again. Dunn counters, gets him into the bitter end. Ricochet then puts the exclamation point on it with a 450 splash. Both of them pin Cole. Your winners of War Games, the team of Pete Dunne, Ricochet, and War Raiders. All I have to say is it was really an incredible event from top to bottom. It was, it's really hard to do this. It's really hard to say this. For me, the best match of the night, it would be War Games, but not by much, as those two previous matches were with Gargano and Black and Ciampa and Dream. Both of those matches were incredible. I hate to say it, but for me the worst match of the night was the 2 out of 3 falls match. But it's one, it's basically only by default, and two, it's only because it could have gone longer and it would have been a lot better. So that is my take on NXT TakeOver War Games 2. What are your thoughts on this event? Let me know in the comments section below. As always, you can talk to me via the social media. Again, a big thank you to everybody for tuning in. I will probably be quite a busy man tomorrow, as I'm probably going to do a triple upload. There's a lot to talk about that I've been trying to get to, and I will get to it. So you will have a triple upload, and of course it will probably culminate in my Survivor Series review. So stay tuned for all of that. So until next time, I am the Guido, and I think we're done here.